It's been a busy week, my friends. We've had the election, we've had an updated October consumer price index report, and more. Let's dive into some quick details and make this one short and sweet. But the positive is rates are improving. So last week in our market update, we talked about where we were and where we are. So let's go from last week to this week. The expectation that the consumer price index report for October was going to be a little bit better, and guess what? It sure was. The consumer price index went from 8.2 to 7.7%. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it may not seem like a lot, but the interest rates are improving, my friends. When the CPI drops, it can be an indicator that we have seen the peak of what is relative to inflation. Is that true? We don't know just yet. Time will tell. The CPI report would have been even better had it not been for the shelter numbers. The shelter numbers year over year are higher than they were last year. Otherwise, our CPI report would have been even better, improving the rates by even more. But the reason being is that the rent for lodging away from home is skyrocketed. And we can talk about more of that later, but for now, just know that was a big key element. You can look a little bit closer in the show notes below for more information or links to other CPI reports if you are feeling rambunctious and want to go take a look. It's not a secret that we had the election this week. That was Tuesday, another big day. In fact, it was so much not a secret that my buddy over the pond in England texted me and asked me if I was voting. So with that, let's dive into a little bit real quick. There are so many different things that we could talk about with regards to the election. Let's focus on one thing for now, and that is the question around, will the House and the Senate be gridlocked or not? That means, are the House and the Senate represented by two different parties, one the Republican Party and two the Democratic Party? And as it turns out, the Republican Party took over in the House, which is good, but we still can have gridlock, which will slow down the passing of bills and potentially slow down the decision making as we move forward with what could still appear to be a recession. Chairman Powell spoke last week, and he was a little dovish in respect to the decision to continue to raise interest rates. So come December, it is very likely that we will see an increase in the interest rates. With that being said, the hope and the goal is that we're going to see the softening of inflation as inflation comes back down. We've talked about this before, my friends, and that means that interest rates will start to trickle down too. Now, while there's some other information down below, just know this, that today was a positive sign in the market. A positive sign for so many of you that are sitting on the fence asking yourself, is this the right time to buy? Gosh, with rates in the sevens, and now I just quoted today, 11.10, right? A interest rate in the 5 7/8 range with a rate buy down from the seller. This is just one example of the many that we are seeing, that people are feeling more comfortable and confident as we are progressing towards the end of the year here. Now, one big thing is we're going to watch inventory numbers, which, as we know, Ryan Lindquist talks about this a lot, and what's going on with inventory, what's going on with the housing market year over year, et cetera, et cetera. But obviously the housing market will continue to drop or soften as the rates stay high. But as we start to see the rates come back down, the market will normalize. That is the hope. The question is it's not about if, but about when. So tomorrow is Veterans Day. We just want to wish all of our veterans a very happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service, your time, your commitment, and for those in my family that have served as well. So have a great one, enjoy your weekend, and if you have any questions, as always, DM us, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.